Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes on a world exclusive. This is a first look at Yukimasa, Demon of Ice. That's right, Yukimasa, Demon of Ice is the Christmas fusion in Raid Shadow Legends. This all kicks off, it's a classic fusion, and it kicks off on December 15th. And let me tell you, as cool as this dude looks, I think you'll be more impressed with his kit, which we'll review in just a moment. But first, he is a Force Affinity, attack-based, again, legendary fusion champion in the Shadowkin faction. And I love the name, Yukimasa, Demon of Ice. Let's start with the good stuff. Let's start with this dude's kit. See if you're as impressed as I am with this dude. And then I'll give the press release, what Plarium puts out in terms of like the verbiage around how they see players using these champions. And then I'll give my assessment at the end of the video. But first, the A1. This is Winnowing Winter, an AoE attack. Has a 25, booked up to a 40% chance to place an AoE block active skills for one turn. It can't be resisted if at least one enemy is under a CC debuff, excluding sheep, but including petrification, provoke, well, you guys can read, okay? Instantly activates this AoE whenever this champion skips a turn because of a CC debuff. Really interesting. So an AoE instant activation, really, really cool with a block active skills. On the A2, Blizzard of Strikes. This is a 4-turn book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks enemies and will ignore block damage. Hell yeah, especially in this meta right now where block damage is everywhere. Has a 100% chance when booked of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies. So an AoE freeze with an AoE nuke with a ignore block damage. Now we're talking, but it gets better. If there's one enemy under those CC debuffs that we just went over on the A1, well, that can't be resisted, that freeze, which is nice on an attack-based damage dealer to, hopefully not have a huge need for accuracy. Revives one random ally, this is nasty, with 50% HP and 50% turn meter, if this skill does not kill an enemy. So all you gotta do, kind of like Lazarius, is just use the skill. Lazarius is on his passive, his is on a skill, but you go in with an AoE nuke, and all you got to do is take a turn, and you're going to revive an ally. But if you kill one enemy, all you got to kill is at least one, you revive everybody with 50% HP, 50% turn meter. Ooh, that's nasty, right? We don't know how hard the skill hits. That is always the TBD, always the caveat. But golly, it looks freaking good, right? Stain the Snows. A3 ability. It's a 4 book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks one enemy. Steals all their turn meter. And it can't be resisted if there's one enemy under a CC debuff. Then he equalizes the target's defense with this champion's defense for this attack. Very interesting new mechanic added to the game here. Equalizing defense based on his squishy ass defense, right? So you're going to turn, I don't know, a Leo into a cold heart. You know what I'm saying? That's very interesting. The damage inflicted by this skill increases by the amount of turn meter stolen. So now it would behoove us to target, the target with the highest turn meter, not only so we can steal it, but also so we can escalate the damage there. Solitary Demon. His passive, this is what starts to bring everything together here. Fills this champion's turn meter by 50% whenever this champion skips a turn because of a CC debuff, okay? Whenever this champion skips a turn because of one of those debuffs, their next active skill will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Holy moly, that's very interesting. Now, notably, Sheep is not included there. He has an aura in all battles by 33%. Let's put it all together here. An AoE on the A1, an attack-based damage dealer. Force Affinity, which is really cool, by the way, as well. With that block active skill, so some control in his kit. He has the AoE block damage, which is really cool. He has that ability to not need to rely on accuracy as much as you otherwise may, because all you need is one CC debuff active in the battle. He has an AoE freeze. He has a steal full turn meter. He has the revive, potentially the whole team if you kill at least one enemy or at least one ally just by taking his turn. And then he has that turn meter boost if he skips a turn. He has that defense exchange. He has that extra ignore 50% of target's defense if he CC'd. Man, Yukimasa, you are a demon of ice, aren't you? This is quite the kit here, guys. All right, so what are my opinions on this dude? I'm absolutely going for him. You know, he's a very unique damage dealer. In a game with over 1,000 champions, it's tough to make unique anything, but unique damage dealers especially, because they're a dime a dozen. But this guy has good control. He has the mechanics that we want in terms of the ignore block damage, a little bit of control, a lot of versatility here. I think he is I'll never say ever, must, because it's a game at the end of the day, and having no one specific champion is going to allow you to beat this game, because there is no beating this game. That being said, to me, he's worth going for here. And usually in Raid, the Christmas fusion, not always, looking at you, Pixneal, but usually the Christmas fusions and the anniversary fusions, Fabian and Armand's, they tend to be pretty good. I'm looking at like Nishak and stuff, right? So I think, you know, provided that he can hit decently hard, I don't think he'll be, my intuition says he's not going to be like the hardest hitting nuker out there in the game, because he has a lot of extras. The extra turn meter steal, the extra ignore block damage, the extra freeze, the extra control, and the block active skills. I mean, he has a lot in addition to just damage. So my gut tells me he might not be the most fearsome nuker out there in the game, but he brings so much extra to the table. Really cool, really cool. I mean, you could just use him as a control champion in a stun set with block active skills and a freeze on an AoE as well. There's a lot to like about this dude. Let's see what Plarium says about him. All right, they say Yukimasa, Demon of Ice, is a highly versatile champion who can flex into whatever your team needs. Damage dealer, controller, or reviver. He thrives in PvP, where he can serve as an extra control unit alongside your support CC debuffs, provide clutch revives, or step in as your primary or secondary DPS. When used properly, his A3 hits incredibly hard, especially when amplified by his passive. Oh, you're teasing me. You're teasing me, Plarium. How hard does he hit? Show us the multipliers. Show us the multipliers! When paired with another CC support, you can fully lean into his offensive stats and skip accuracy altogether. His A1 is especially valuable against Mythical Champions, preventing them from switching forms. His standout feature is his A3, the ability to equalize the target's defense with his own. This shines against tanky champions, allowing you to potentially one-shot your target and immediately follow up with an A2 AoE if you've stolen enough turn meter. Ain't that the truth? He's got a little R bias on the AoE block active skills on the A1, right? He has a little, I don't know, a little Odin with the revive on his A2 ability. He's got control with the freeze. He brings a lot to the table, man. I am so thrilled that they seem, at least on paper, I think they've nailed it with this Christmas fusion. Hopefully he's not a huge letdown, but I mean, Plarium's basically guaranteeing huge damage. They would never exaggerate to us. Never, 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 right? Anyway, guys, I like this dude. Let me know what you think about him. And hey, if you want to chill with me a little bit longer, you can watch the Xenomorph video that I put out last night. It was really fun, highlighting how he's changed the game when it comes to Demon Lord Clan Boss. You can see that video right over there on the screen. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.